Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus package update, daily news, everything going on here in our country and in Washington, D.C., money, investing, the stock market, which got absolutely crushed yesterday. The Dow Jones index down over 900 points yesterday, the largest drop of the year yesterday. The price of oil got crushed yesterday as well. Hopefully, we will expect to see gas prices come down here as well here in the near future. Price of oil goes down, you expect to see the price of gas go down as well. Although President Biden said here just a few days ago that he has the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, actually looking into whether or not large gas companies are doing anything illegally on price fixing, as in the exact thing of what I'm just talking about here on when the price of oil goes down, whether or not these large gas companies are price fixing. So when the price of oil goes down, the price of gas at the pump is supposed to go down as well. So we will see here this as well. Also, we'll have to see if the price of oil continues to go down as well. Yeah, here's my article. Check this out. Oil drops 13% in the worst day of 2021 as well. Great timing here as the price of gas is hitting highs for the year. Now, with the stock market crash yesterday, that's kind of some good news mixed in there. If you're if you're not an investor, if you're not part of the 50-some% of Americans that have money in the stock markets or a pension or a 401k, or if you do, there's a little bit of a silver lining there that the price of oil, which is tied directly to the price of gas at the pump, had its worst day as well yesterday. Oil drops 13% in the worst day of 2021 as well, breaks below $70 as this new COVID variant, Omicron. Oh, if you see that video yesterday with my wife, man, she is such a smart cookie. She is smarter than me. This Greek letter, this new variant that you can see here, the U.S. is already restricting travel from 7 countries to try to restrict this new variant of this COVID virus. Yeah, that they say there's no new cases that the CDC is confirming is in the U.S. yet being the key word here of this new virus variant, Omicron. You want to say Omnicron, but there's no N here in this first part of it. It's Omnicron. Omicron. Oh, my wife I can already hear her already laughing here. This Greek letter, all these variants, Delta variant, Alpha variant, new variant, Omicron variant. There's probably going to be an Omega variant at some point. They're all based on Greek letters. Yeah, this variant is B11529. It's based out of, or thought to be based out of, South Africa, and that's why they're restricting travel from 7 countries out of South Africa. The U.S. is already doing this. They're moving fast. Other countries like the United Kingdom are restricting travel out of South Africa as well. And what's crazy about this is that it kind of feels like we're back to the beginning of the pandemic when this just started here, all the way back to former President Donald Trump being in office, being president. He was restricting travel. And what's funny then is former presidents, or wait, let me back that, reverse that. Former President Donald Trump was president. Joe Biden actually criticized him for doing travel bans at the time. Kind of interesting world we live in now. Now we have President Biden doing travel bans. Yeah, interesting time we live in now. It feels like we're back at the beginning of the pandemic. New travel bans being introduced here. Here we are, what, a year and a half later. In Europe, they have all-time highs being hit of new virus cases. New all-time highs being hit of virus cases. And we have some like 82% of adults that are vaccinated with at least 1 shot. Yeah. I showed this yesterday, but I'm going to show this again here, this article from Reuters, because I know I'm going to get a bunch of people in the comments that are going to say, Jimmy, there's no way 82% of the population here in the United States is vaccinated. This is of people that are eligible. But as you can see here, I'm going to just zoom this in here. 82% of adults have gotten at least one vaccine dose. Directly here from Reuters.com, which is a very, very big news outlet, very, very credible. So, I mean, this is not counting children who are not eligible. Obviously, I don't think they're counted because they're not even eligible, but 82% of U.S. adults have gotten at least one vaccine dose. That's a lot. And here we are, yet we're locking down travel against other countries with this new virus variant that literally crashed the stock market in the United States yesterday. Literally caused the largest stock market crash of the year yesterday and the largest gas oil stock crash of the year yesterday as well. What was that, 13%? By the way, 13% is a lot. A really, really lot. Okay, so stocks crashed like 2.5% yesterday, and that was the largest crash of the year. Oil dropped 13% yesterday, so stocks crashed 2.5%. This is 13%. That's what, 5 times more? Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. So let me just see here. I think the national price for gas was what, about $3.30? $3.35, I think, was like the national price of gas. So let's just say it correlated exactly here. If we seen a drop of 13%, that would be a 43-cent drop in gas price. If it dropped exactly how it's supposed to, right? Imagine a 43-cent drop in gas prices overnight. Now, of course, it doesn't exactly happen overnight. That's just not exactly how it works. But that's a 43%, 43-cent drop in gas if it correlates exactly to the pump. That's a lot. That's a really lot. That would take gas from being a $3.35 national average minus 43 cents down to $2.92. That's a lot more reasonable. I'm not saying that's the best gas price ever, but that's a lot more reasonable. 43 cents overnight in one day? Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. Right? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. 13% in one day. Whew. A lot more livable. Now, when you combine that with maybe President Biden's kind of little bit of releasing of the 50 million barrels of oil, combined with, I mean, that's not a lot of barrels of oil, but you look at it as kind of a symbolism, combined with the other countries that are releasing oil saying to OPEC, say, listen, that we can do some of this to try to combat the price of oil. And here we are, 2 days later, oil plummeted by 13%. Remember, 13% is a lot because the stock market crashed by 2.5%, and it was the largest drop of the entire year. Okay, this is 13%. That's 5 times a greater drop. Four times would be about 10%. Yeah, that's 5 times a greater drop. That's a huge amount. Huge amount. If the stock market dropped by 13%, oh my gosh, we would have people just like, you wouldn't hear any other story on the news. It would be like they would have shut the stock market down probably twice intraday. Now we only had a half day yesterday, but if we had a full day, they would have literally stopped the stock market probably twice throughout the day. That's how bad it would have been. They literally have circuit breakers that will stop trading throughout the day. If it was 13%, that would be literally unheard of. That's how bad it would be. So 13%. Let's just hope it continues that way, right? It'll be interesting to see what happens next week with the price of oil and with the price of stocks, because we also got really a lot more interesting things here coming up. We got the government shutdown coming that has to happen before December 3rd, or else the government will shut down. That could send stocks even lower, and that probably won't affect the price of oil because. But we also have the debt limits, which is more and more people are growing more and more concerned about the debt limit because it affects the average person as well. It affects 65, 70 million people on Social Security, because even the president has said that Social Security payments could be delayed or not go out because it's a tricky situation because Social Security has its own fund, but if the government is defaulted, which is literally what will happen, it's a government default. If the Treasury runs out of money, we're in uncharted territory here. What happens if the Treasury runs out of money? I mean, literally, even the president and Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, Bernie Sanders, they've all said that even Social Security would be at significant risk if the Treasury defaults, which is now expected to be somewhere around December 15th. The initial date was December 3rd, which, Lord help us, would have been in a week from now. That's the date for the government shutdown. Two different issues there. Congress has a lot to do here in the next week. And we also, don't forget, we have the stimulus package as well that the Senate's going to be working on. We also have the National Defense Authorization Act, basically to fund the military. That's about $750 billion just for 1 year, $750 billion. And they have a Competition Act on top of that, which is it's basically a anti-competition act to make us more competitive, for the United States to be more competitive with China, to try to manufacture semiconductor chips here as well. When you combine that with the National Defense Authorization Act, it's basically about $1 trillion. About $1 trillion here just for 1 year. Just for 1 year. Senator Bernie Sanders is kind of upset with that because if you've been watching the show here, and I get his point. I mean, I'm totally for defending the country. I fully understand we have to do it. But what Bernie Sanders has kind of said is put it in perspective. Put it in perspective, because what he says is that the amount of spending that we do on defending the country, and when he said it, I kind of understood. I was like, wow, you're right. He says, we'll spend $750 billion, or when you combine it with this Competition Act, $1 trillion in just 1 year, and nobody bats an eye on it. Nobody bats an eye on the amount that we spend, $1 trillion in just 1 year. But when we look at that, we want to spend, say, $1.75 trillion for this next stimulus package. We want to give benefits to seniors with Medicare. We want to give benefits to children with child tax credits, literally cash. We want to potentially have a fourth stimulus check in there for adults. We have multiple different groups calling for that. Well, we want to have literally education benefits for children. We want to include 3 and 4 year olds to have preschool for free. We are one of the only nations in the world to not include that right now, not have preschool paid for. We're literally one of the only nations to not do that. We are the only first world nation right now in the entire world to not have, or the only first world nation to not have paid family and medical leave paid for as a national federal benefit. We're the only nation as a first world country to not do that. The only first world nation to not do that. We're supposed to be the richest, greatest nation in the country. We're the only nation that doesn't offer it. So when you think about just like, that's just a couple of things, of course, lowering the cost of prescription drug pricing for literally tens of millions of Americans. This is some of the things that we want to put in this package, right? There's going to be another package after this. When you just think about some of those things that are in this package, right? They kind of sound like no-brainers, right? Like preschool paid for 3 and 4 year olds. Like if you ever go to price out, we actually, me and my wife decided not to send Julian, our 3-year-old son, to preschool this year. It has literally nothing to do with the cost of it. We actually decided not to do it just because of the pandemic, because obviously a 3-year-old's not vaccinated. And we just decided it was actually just better to be safe than sorry, because heaven forbid our 3-year-old son being in school every day just caught the virus. It was just a risk we decided not to take. It actually kind of almost brings a tear to my eye to even think about him catching the virus. It would just be like, I don't even know what I would do. It would just be like, it would crush me, right? So nonetheless, we decided not to send him there this year. It was just kind of a decision we made because he's only 3 years old, right? He doesn't really need to go, okay? But nonetheless, most people send their kids to preschool, okay? Because again, he can go to preschool next year as well, okay? It's not kindergarten yet. Okay, most parents send their kids to preschool. But if you go to price out the price of preschool, there's a few states, I believe, that offer it for free. Not many. That means the state has to pay for it, okay? The price of preschool is thousands of dollars. thousands of dollars. Okay. So when you look at yourself, if you don't have thousands of dollars laying around, where does the money come from? That's literally just one thing in this bill. It's just one thing in this bill. Right now, families have to pay for that. And then when we look at like benefits for seniors, hearing, dental, and vision. Right now, if you're on Medicare, the majority of seniors do not have those benefits. Now, you could pay for them with add-on benefits to Medicare, but that costs extra money for the majority of seniors. Bernie Sanders says that I think it's like 75% of seniors do not have those benefits unless you pay for extra add-on benefits. And if you pay for extra add-on benefits against that cost you extra money. All these things, and again, it kind of makes you wonder, if you're paying for Medicare, why are your eyes not covered? Why is your hearing not covered? Why are your teeth not covered? If you're 75 years old and you've already worked your whole life, you've already paid into Medicare, it's kind of a pension type system. You've already paid into Social Security, a pension type system. The governments are supposed to be there to support you when you're too old to work anymore. Why are these things not covered? Why is paid family and medical leave not covered? We're the only first world country to not offer this. In the whole world, all the other first world countries offer this as a federal national benefit. The great United States of America, you always hear we're the richest country in the world. And probably every single person watching this has heard that about the United States. Yet we don't offer it. Countries in Europe have been offering paid preschool for 3 and 4-year-olds for like over 100 years in some cases. Oh, hi. Did you hear that meow? We have a visitor. Look at the screen. Say hi. You look like Grumpy Cat. This is Lily. Look up here. Hi, Lily. Say hi. 10 seconds of Lily. Why do you look so grumpy? All right, go on. Say bye. We'll give you some turkey later for being a good girl. Yeah, but it's just like, I actually kind of get a little bit upset about these things. And I'm sure you guys do too. And when you think about stimulus checks as well, it's the same thing. You know, in a way, they've provided 3 stimulus checks, and they've also provided child tax credits as well. And that's great. But on the other hand, there's still literally millions and millions of people struggling. I see your guys' comments every single day, you know, and in a way, it's just, and that's why I feel like I'm the voice for a lot of you guys out there. I really feel like I get comments almost on a daily basis from viewers like you that say thank you, Jimmy, for letting us be a place to voice, a place for letting us be a place to voice our concerns, a place for letting us to voice what we have to say, a place for letting us to put our voice out there. You know, and not only do I like having a platform to let you guys put your voice out there, but I also like having this platform to be a voice for you guys. As I mentioned in like the last video or two, my channel here is coming up on 150 million views in just 2 years. I am super, super proud of that, but for multiple different reasons. One, because I'm proud of just because of the work I've done and being able to achieve that. But number two, where like maybe I should quote Home Alone there when if you haven't noticed, I'm a movie buff. I always think of different movies here, but if you can think of that part in the movie, I think that's Home Alone 2 when they fly to Paris and they go or 1, B, and then D, and they're quoting and then you know what I'm talking about. If yeah, I butchered that, but you know what I'm talking about, where they're doing different lines there. But yeah, I just love being able to kind of voice your guys' concerns. I see your guys' comments every day, and I know that us as a platform here together, you guys are extended family. We have had a large voice here together because we reach about 200,000 people on YouTube every day between our 3 videos. But also, I know for a fact that we have reached senators and congressmen. I know for a fact because not only have I had them email me, but I know that they have watched our videos. Okay, and I can't really name names or anything like that, but I have had them reach out to me in the past, and I know for a fact that they watch me as well. So again, I'm not going to name any names. I don't want to put anybody out there like that. But remember, 150 million views over the course of the last 2 years. So we have a big platform here, but also I like to see your guys' comments. I just kind of feel like us as a family here, I feel like I'm the voice for a lot of people here too as well. So feel free to voice your voice here as well. But and I feel like even after the stimulus package, same thing here. There's going to be another stimulus package after this. There's all these other programs. There's this rental assistance. There's this mortgage assistance. The mortgage assistance is really just kind of starting. Just kind of starting. I've seen a lot of people comment down below in the description or in the comment section. A lot of people are on waiting lists because the states are like just gearing up to do this. By the way, there is videos down below in the description of this video about rent assistance, mortgage assistance, and utility assistance. I'll link you to some of them here in a moment when I finish this video on the end screens, they're called, where you can just click on them. But homeowners assistance is just getting ready to start in most states. Some states actually have waiting lists where they're just kind of getting ready to do it. So keep that in mind. The homeowners assistance has $9.9 billion for homeowners. For homeowners, and for rental assistance, it's available in almost all the states. There's a couple states that have paused it, and I'm not sure why. I don't even think they're out of money. I think that maybe they're just behind processing. But either way, when this next stimulus package passes, there's $25 billion more going to be available. Rent assistance is one of the best ways to get stimulus money because they will pay your rent for like 3 months, 6 months, 12 months or more. So if your rent is, and I'll just pick a nice round number here, $1,000. Imagine getting your rent paid for 3 months, that's 3,000. 6 months is 6,000. 12 months is $12,000. Okay. I have literally had over 1,000 people, well over 1,000 people, if not tens of thousands of people from this channel tell me in the comment section, and even so many people that don't even comment, that have gotten rental assistance in the past. There's also utility assistance in the description of this video. I'll link you to as well. You can get $500 to $1,500 in utility assistance and heating assistance as well. That's available right now in most, if not all, states. So I'm going to keep you up to date on all these different type of programs. Okay, it's not just the big stimulus package and everything that's going to be in that. There's another stimulus package coming after that. There's Social Security raises, there's student loan forgiveness, all these different type of programs that are going to be available, as well as me just keeping you up to date with what's going on here with our country. Really, we've kind of just grown used to each other, right? It's been 2 years of just being together here as an extended family. I'm going to keep you up to date with everything going on here on our channel. So make sure to subscribe down below. New videos, it's free to subscribe. I'll keep you up to date with everything going on here in our country. Daily news, the stock market, everything you need to know about. So click here to watch my newest video next. This top video is about rental assistance, and this bottom video is about utility assistance. Any other videos will be in the description of this video down below. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.